I've got it split. You good?
Yeah.
All right, so we can talk about the actual awards. I'm going to go bottom up rather than top down. So I think the first one we're talking about is Content Creator of the Year. That was probably pretty inevitable, correct? It was always going to be Ninja.
Wait, where are you going bottom up from?
Wikipedia.
That's where I am. Is it the bottom of esports/other? Are you in the awards and nominees and then the table, or is it a different part?
I'm on my phone, so it might not be coming up the same as you.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, Content Creator of the Year. It was always going to be Ninja.
Just do it fine. Okay.
I don't think any of the others really competed against him. I talk about the esports moment of the year, but I actually haven't watched any of these, which makes me feel really bad. Yeah, one of them was the E-League Boston Major, which, looking at the title of it, I'm assuming that was actually really good. A triple OT comeback in Counter-Strike that's actually pretty insane.
Oh, I feel like I saw that.
Yeah, it was at the Boston
No,
Major.
probably not.
You watched it. Um, Best esports event went to the League of Legends Championship. I think there's an argument to be made for the Boston Major because the Boston Major was actually kind of ridiculous in terms of the games that it had and the quality of the tournament. But that's just my opinion. I don't watch enough of really either. I don't watch enough of Counter-Strike, League, or Dota to really say much else about that.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm probably going to skip a lot of the esports ones because I don't follow the Counter-Strike or Dota scene.
Okay.
Best esports player, though, we should be noted that it went to Sonic Fox. There's a lot of good players out there. Sonic Fox probably had one of the most notable years. He's one of the best. I don't think he's the best anymore, but he was one of the best Dragon Ball Fighter Z players and was just pulling down tournament after tournament after tournament. He was so good that he put down the what was the company that does Injustice? He said it and I already forgot it. It's like Never something.
Yeah, I forgot it too.
Yeah, he does. He does the Mortal Kombat series and the Injustice series, and was pretty much smashing face on that circuit before going to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, where he was smashing face. But what's really interesting was about a month ago they had their big finals for Injustice, and he basically spent a month practicing up a low-tier character for that tournament because he's been focused entirely on Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So he picked this low-tier character, won through the entire tournament, and then donated all of his winnings to another contender in the tournament whose father had stage 3 cancer. Dude deserved it. He's cool. He's a cool dude. I think everyone's pretty happy that. Well, you should be pretty happy that he won it. The only argument I think you can give is.
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, that's a really good story. I think the only person you can really argue maybe had a chance was Simple, the Counter-Strike player, because he's one of the best players in the world, to my knowledge. Best esport game went to Overwatch, and I'm only saying that because Fortnite was on the list.
Fortnite's not an esports game.
No, it was not.
Why was it on the list?
Yeah, I got nothing. Best debut indie game went to The Messenger by Sabotage Studio. That's a good call based on the other games on this list. The Messenger is a pretty good game. If you catch it on Steam, cheap, you should buy it. It's kind of a Metroidvania-y action game. It's more action than Metroidvania, in my opinion, but...
By Devolver Digital. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think they published it, but Sabotage Studio is the developer.
Oh, developed it. Okay.
Let's keep going. Best multiplayer game went to Fortnite. I mean...
Wow.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
I don't even have any issues with that.
Best strategy game was an interesting one. It went to Into the Breach. I know a lot of people hype up Into the Breach, but I feel like Frostpunk is probably better. That's kind of just my
Yeah.
opinion. Also on this list is BattleTech and Valkyria Chronicles 4. BattleTech may have an argument, but I think Frostpunk probably deserved it. But Into the Breach is still a great game. It was really probably between those two. I just would have leaned more towards Frostpunk.
Do you have any experience with Banner Saga? I've heard it's good. I just
I go
never played it, and I don't know if it's a good strategy game.
I went 2 levels in, and I actually don't like it. I like 2
Huh.
levels. I like the art style. I kind of like the story, but like it's not for me, man.
Okay.
Best family game. Normally I wouldn't note this, but
Oh,
first,
Overcooked 2.
yeah, Overcooked 2 won it. And that's notable because Overcooked 2 is a really underrated game, especially if you have a family. If you got a nice family and you want to play a fun game, Overcooked 2 is really good.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Nintendo
shocked.
Labo should
Yeah.
not be on that list.
No, it should
Fuck
be.
that.
No, it should be. Labo should be on there.
Come on.
Oh,
Well,
man,
all
you're,
right,
man, you're
whatever.
just an angry dude.
I mean, it's a cool game, but best family game? Like, that's a game that your kid just plays with by himself.
That's why it's a family game.
Okay, no, look. Overcooked 2, you're playing with your kid. Mario Tennis Aces, you're playing with someone. Like, Super Mario Party, you're playing with... It's like a family-oriented... Everyone's gathering around the thing. Nintendo Labo is something that you send your kid off to build. He builds it, brings you over to look at it for a little while, and then you go off about it. I don't know. I don't like it there.
Oh, you freaking tangent me. Best fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The only game it could have competed with was BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, it's probably the most interesting fighter to come out in years. Probably since
David?
Marvel 3, MVC 3.
Can you answer me this? Like, the music of Dragon Ball Fighter Z, does it have any Persona music in it at all?
All right, James. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this. Your mind might actually explode when I say this. In BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, the Persona music is not the best music on that soundtrack.
I'm okay with this. That's fine.
And first of all, the true anthem for BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is Red Like Roses 2. That is the true anthem of that game. Because every single tournament, that will be the song that everyone puts on because they like pissing off everyone who doesn't like it. Which there aren't any because everyone loves it. Tra-la-la-la-la. But back to kind of talking up Dragon Ball Fighter Z. There was a pretty big gap when Marvel Ultimate came out, or Marvel Infinity came out. Mostly because it wasn't a very good game, and it didn't get released very well, in my opinion. Just like the entire process of releasing that game, from a marketing standpoint, I thought was just horrible. And Dragon Ball Fighter Z really filled in the void there, with a brand that is stupidly popular. What's most impressed me about this game is that people who play like every fighting game has picked that game up. Like, you have Smash players, you have Injustice players, you have Marvel players, you have Street Fighter players. Like, everyone from every group plays that game. And that's impressive. Not to mention the fact I think they've done great work on the roster and making a lot of really interesting characters. Like, all you have to do is look at Ginyu Force and you're like, that's a really cool design of a character.
Cool.
Best role-playing game? Yeah, we're going to complain about this. We're going to complain about
I
this.
have questions.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Every other game on this list seems like a better RPG than Monster Hunter World.
I think the main complaint is that I don't think anyone considers Monster Hunter World an RPG. Like,
No,
I'm one of the people that goes around yelling at people that says Legend of Zelda is not an RPG. If Legend of Zelda is not an RPG, there is no way in hell Monster Hunter World is an RPG. I'm sorry.
Who doesn't think Legend of Zelda is an RPG?
Go fuck yourself. I will die on that hill. I will listen, man. The only one I will give credit is possibly being an RPG is Breath of the Wild. None of the others are an RPG. Deal with it. Deal with it.
Okay. They're just action adventure games.
Yes, they're just action adventure games.
Which is where I think Monster Hunter World should be.
Bing, ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
So pretty much, you're right. The rest of the games on this list are billing over it, and that would include Dragon Quest XI, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, and Pillars of Eternity 2. I think the winner should have been Dragon Quest XI. Clearly, to quote all of the weebs on the internet, there is clear and precedent bias against Japanese games in this award show. So we can't give it to any of these games other than Monster Hunter World and Pillars of Eternity.
Well, I mean, Octopath Traveler is kind of an indie title. I know it's published by Square Enix.
No, Square Enix developed. That's like entirely Square Enix.
Really?
It was published by Nintendo in the U.S. You have to understand, any Square Enix games that come out on Nintendo consoles, they're published by Nintendo.
Shit. No, never mind. I'm thinking, I forgot what Octopath Traveler was. Never mind. But, yeah.
I also think Octopath Traveler is actually a pretty overrated game, but it is a very innovative game and very interesting, but I think they did a very poor job on the development of the story for that game. In general, I think Dragon Quest XI should have won. Maybe Pillars of Eternity. That said, it's also worth noting Pillars of Eternity did very poorly in sales.
Yeah, probably should have been Dragon Quest.
Alright, I've raged enough on that. Best action adventure game went to God of War.
Let's rage some more.
It went to God of War.
I don't like it going to God of War here.
Do you think Assassin's Creed Odyssey deserved it?
No.
Oh, what do you think?
Spider-Man did. Spider-Man.
I think that's an interesting take, but I think it's probably either God of War or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I'm not saying I hate.
Okay.
I'm not saying I hate Spider-Man. I think those two games were just better. It also, Red Dead Redemption is not an action adventure game. That's like.
No, it's not.
It's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's something else. Oh, this one we got to talk about, because this award is probably the most. Yes, best action game. I'm gonna give you a list.
Crammed full. Like everything except for Dead Cells is like we have to put them somewhere.
Let me give you a list of games that didn't win it: Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2, Far Cry 5, Mega Man 11. You know what did win it? The indie game Dead Cells. And you know what? They're fucking right.
Yeah.
Dead Cells.
Like every other game in that list is like, what? Why are you here?
In my personal opinion, Dead Cells is the best indie game to come out in the past 5 years. Dead Cells is a fucking awesome game.
I'll agree with that. Like every time I've seen it on sale, it's been like, oh, I need to buy that, but it's still kind of expensive.
I may have it on 3 different consoles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have.
It's on Switch. I'll just buy it.
I have the Switch. I have the physical PS4 copy that was limited rate, and I have Steam.
Cool.
Yeah, buy Dead Cells. Get this developer money, man. They made a really good game for you.
I like that.
I'm only gonna talk about best VR AR game because Beat Saber didn't win it, and Beat Saber is probably the best-selling VR game there is.
Yeah, that's like the quintessential VR game.
So now we get to go into complaints. It's not really a complaint. Best independent game. So we just kind of got off riding Dead Cells dick for like a week. Am I skipping over best mobile game?
You're skipping over best mobile game?
Yes. Yes, I am. Why don't you look at that list?
But Fortnite didn't win. I just want to mention that Fortnite did not win best mobile game.
That's probably because Fortnite's probably not a very good mobile game.
What do you mean? Half the people playing with keyboard and mouse, and everyone else trying to figure out a fucking touchscreen isn't good? Okay.
So, back to best independent game. So, we just spent like 5 minutes riding Dead Cells dick. I'd like to point out, Dead Cells did not win Best Independent Game. In return, Celeste won Best Independent Game.
Oh, fuck them.
I'm going to argue this on my personal
Celeste is
taste,
good,
but I'm not saying Celeste doesn't deserve the win. Celeste is an excellent game, very good game. Dead Cells is one of the best independent games developed in the past 5 years and probably actually deserves it. And Celeste probably would have won in any other year. But Celeste won this year anyway, so fuck me.
Celeste is like indie in name only. Like, it was developed by an indie studio, but Sony had so much, like, gave them so much help.
I mean, it's still an independent
really
game.
pushed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're
sure.
saying, but it's still an independent game. But yeah, guys, Dead Cells. Come on, play Dead Cells. Games for Impact. We're going to talk about that because Games for Impact's the award that deserves more praise because they usually, it's pretty regular that they make really good choices on that. I couldn't resist. Games for Impact. It went to Celeste again. Now, the only issue with Games for Impact is I actually haven't played any of these games except Celeste. So it's hard to gauge the impact when you haven't played any of the games. I am surprised it just didn't de facto go to Life is Strange, because Life is Strange has de facto been winning this award for a while now.
Yeah. Like, the main thing holding Life is Strange 2 back is it's not done releasing.
Oh, this is
Like-
true. I didn't think about that.
I think there's only 1 or 2 modules out for it.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say there. Celeste is a fine choice. You have to be able to compare it to everything else, and I can't do that.
Just not sure what it changed, really.
All right, next one, best performance. This one I usually get really picky on and start bitching to people about every year because I think they make a bad decision unless they give it to Nolan North, because this is also known as the Nolan North Award. Unfortunately, this year it looks like Nolan North was not in the running. So
Nolan
this year,
North didn't get to win a Northie?
yeah, Nolan North didn't win a Northie. I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
Darn.
I think I'll start off by saying this entire list is actually really good. I think everyone on the list, Roger Clark for Arthur Morgan, Brian DeChart for Detroit Become Human, Christopher Judge for Kratos and God of War, Melisanthe Mahuk, yeah, I think she's Greek, for Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Yuri Lothwell as Peter Parker in Spider-Man. They all did fantastic jobs with their games, in my opinion. In the end, it was Roger Clark for Red Dead 2 who ended up winning it. I really think Yuri Lothwell deserved it. I thought his work on Spider-Man was actually pretty fabulous. And
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not like bringing down Roger Clark for his work as Arthur Morgan, which was really good, but Yuri Lothwell put in so much work onto that. I don't know what else to say. I think Roger Clark won it mostly because Red Dead 2 came out most recently, to be honest with you.
I will say I'm happy that they chose the female voice actor for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because they were both kind of iffy, but the male one was just absolutely dreadful.
I didn't know there was a male main character for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's the main character, and then if you don't pick him, he's the antagonist.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No one has played that game with a male main character. Just saying.
I saw a couple of Twitch streamers playing as.
Whoa! They stream that? They stream that?
Yeah.
Get burned,
Yeah.
guys. Get burned. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Best audio design went to Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually have no complaints about that. You have to understand the amount of effort Rockstar Games put into the environment of their games, and then you realize
just see that article about horse testicles.
It's not just that. There are even more impressive articles. There's a guy who's a town drunkard in the game, and you can help him get back home. And when you carry him and bring him back home, and this isn't even like a quest or anything. This is just something you're just doing randomly.
This is just a random NPC.
Yeah, just random NPC. He gets home, he knocks on his door, and his wife opens it and sees that he's drunk, slams his face, and he spends the next 6 hours of game time sleeping outdoors in front of the door to his own house. The amount of effort that went into the design to create a realistic universe for Red Dead Redemption 2 is insanity. And
yep.
Yeah. That's why it was nominated for Game of the Year. It's because it just, from sheer effort to create a universe, it's just impressive. Next one, best score music. That went to Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. This is another one of those things that seems to always go to Western games and never Japanese games, despite the fact that I love every Japanese soundtrack more than I like every Western soundtrack. With the exception to Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, well, yeah, Pirates. that game had sea shanties. So
it's not just that, like the basic music on that's just fabulous. So, yeah, I'm not sure what probably deserved it. Maybe Octopath Traveler, maybe Celeste, but I don't think I'd give it to Red Dead.
Isn't Nino Kuni's music pretty good?
I haven't put much time into 2. I put a good bit of time into 1, and I thought 1's music was kind of par. But I really should put more time into 2. I just have other games I'd rather play.
Alright.
Best art direction went to Return of the Obra Dinn. It was between that and Octopath Traveler. Part of the issue with best art direction is that you have 3 games that have a realistic style 3D art design, and you have 2 other games that have creative and innovative art designs. You have to pick your art design better, guys. You need that. Don't pick realistic games for best art design. Be creative. So yeah, I have no problems with Return of Obra Dinn winning that. It was either that or Octopath Traveler. Best narrative. This is a brutal one. This one's actually pretty brutal. So I'll go through the list.
Yeah, I can see a lot of these winning.
Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, Life is Strange 2, God of War, Detroit Become Human, and Red Dead 2. I think the only one on this list I would just immediately scratch off is Detroit Become Human, because I think that story was trash. But all of the others...
But I don't know.
I think in the end, they did get it right. If I was to pick between what should win, it should probably either be Red Dead or Spider-Man. I'd probably go for Red Dead.
Life is Strange 2 isn't even completely out yet.
That's another issue with Life is Strange. Yeah, that's an issue with Life is Strange. I think God of War, the narrative direction they took for the entire story, made the entire game better. Because, let's be honest, the God of War gameplay cycle, it wore down pretty quickly once we got to the third game. And they needed a change. And that change really was narrative style. They did change the overall gameplay, but the real change was narrative style. And I think it really helped that game a lot. Spider-Man's story is actually fabulous. Like, it's actually impressive how good Spider-Man's story is, considering the fact that it has its own franchise. It's like its own thing. Like, they gave them freedom to develop their own story here, and they did fabulous. When normally they get very lazy about these designs and just steal it from something else. So, but in the end, it went to Red Dead Redemption 2, which has a great story. Red Dead gets a lot of flack for its story because its story is really depressing, but it's very well crafted and it's very well told. and I do think it probably did deserve that award. You have any thoughts?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only one that really, in my mind, comes close to Red Dead is Spider-Man, just because of like how much detail goes into like the side missions in that game, as well as how the main story is like an actual unique Spider-Man story. Which is pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, best ongoing game. I mean, that went to
This
Fortnite.
this is my favorite category.
It went to Fortnite, but we're gonna look at this
Destiny
list
2,
and talk about all the
We're
games.
still making stuff for it. No Man's Sky, we might have fixed it. Overwatch, it's multiplayer, it'll never die. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, it's an esport, it'll never die.
So my thoughts on this. First of all, it was always going to be Fortnite. Just the explosion of Fortnite. It was always going to be Fortnite. Destiny doesn't even deserve to be on this list because it's been a full year in the dumpster fire. Same thing probably with No Man's Sky is that it really wasn't until the middle of this year that game became playable. Overwatch, I understand, but I'm going to be honest here. I don't think the amount of effort that goes in developing Overwatch is the same that goes into these other games. Just going to be honest there. Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege probably deserves some talk because it's actually a really good game that I don't think enough people play. If you like Counter-Strike but want a deeper strategy than I win my gunfight, you should probably play Rainbow Six Siege. It's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of Rainbow Six Siege, I think most of this is padding to give an award to Fortnite.
Yeah, that's a good call. All right. So we're getting to the end here. We're getting there. Best game direction. Ooh, wow, this is a really good list. So I'll go through the whole list: Red Dead Redemption 2, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, A Way Out, God of War. So, what do you think should have won this?
Oh man.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
So I do think it's probably between God of War, Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
I think it's between God of War, A Way Out, and Spider-Man. So, what ended up winning this game was God of War. This award was God of War. I think that's the right decision. I think the direction that they took the game in terms of gameplay, narrative, overall design, it rebuilt that entire franchise into something different and very, very good. A Way Out is just an incredibly innovative game.
Yeah.
I like to celebrate innovation in game design, and A Way Out is very innovative. Forced two-player? Like, what game does that anymore? What game ever did that?
Yeah, my only problem with that is there are like glaring technical issues with A Way Out.
Which I think can be explained by the fact that it's not a full price game.
That's fair, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a cool concept, but when you're looking at like game direction, I feel like some of those things should have been addressed.
Okay, I understand. I think we both can agree Spider-Man's something that could have competed for that slot.
Like the web slinging, getting that correct was like, I don't know. I feel like that deserves some recognition.
Alright, so now we go to the big finale. Game of the Year. So your nominees were Marvel Spider-Man, Celeste, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Red Dead Redemption, and Monster Hunter World. I'm trying to think of a game that should have made this list but didn't. And I'm drawing a blank. Maybe Dead Cells. That just might be us like
Yeah.
riding dicks really
Oh.
hard here. Come on, game, don't do this to me.
What are we doing?
Come on. All right, we'll just do it from here. I'm not gonna get into another because we're almost done.
Yeah, it's fine.
um. So I think what's interesting here is that
Yeah, I can find some room for you to make like just bump Assassin's Creed, and then you could put Dead Cells in there. That'd be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I think Dead Cells probably deserves to be on this list, but this is a good list. In the end, I think it's between two games: God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2. You can make an argument for Spider-Man, but I don't think Spider-Man is up to the level of what God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2 was.
That's fair. I do wish it had won something.
This is true. That didn't win anything, did it? It just got nominated for every award and didn't win a damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. So in the end, the award went to God of War. I don't have a problem with that. I think it easily could have gone to Red Dead as well. I probably would have done a split award and just give it to both of them because they both deserve it for how well their game is. Is it Monster Hunter World just an odd game to see on this list?
It is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad that it's there, but I don't think it would ever win.
All right. Yeah. You have anything else to add?
Nope. I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah, I think overall, they did a good job in picking all the deserving winners. I think there was only a couple that I like stared at and were like, yeah, I don't think that was a good choice, guys.
Yeah.
But I've seen them do much worse in previous years. So overall, I think they did a good job in selecting the winners for this year. And probably
I didn't see Fallout 76 anywhere.
What? What's a Fallout 76? By the way, that game has gotten like the worst ratings of any game I think I've ever seen.
People are pissed.
And that's a good way to end our awards show, with everyone pissed.